good old Heroes of Newerth. Obviously, a little bit of a break there, you know, as it usually happens after major events. Have some null time, but hopefully this is the beginning of slowly climbing back in to this great competitive scene. With that said, now I say that lightly though, because obviously there have been tournaments that are starting up. The weekly series, of course, throughout HON Tour. You got the 5v5 Cup, the Variety Cup, you got the NA Cup. So there's definitely some competition out there for teams to participate in. But the King of the Hill, another great event, and this definitely does feature, as usual, top tier teams. Now, with that said, as you can see, the teams in front of you. So, real quickly, of course, Sync Esports, they're coming off their third place finish, obviously, in the World Finals. Definitely a disappointing finish. I mean, this was a team that, going into the event, they truly thought they had the chance to win it all. And honestly, they were close. Stay Green versus Sync Esports, the semifinals. What a series that was. They ended up losing it 2-1, but they definitely could have even had that 2-0 if things just went their way. So definitely disappointed, I'm sure, after that event. Still got some good money, of course, out of it, but it's going to be interesting to see how things go from here post the event. They're going up against GX Gaming, is how they're labeled, according to the HON Tour system, actually. So GX Gaming over here, real quickly about these guys, you might recognize a couple of names. Maestro specifically, he's definitely been around the HON scene for a long time. We've definitely seen him on HONcast way in the past, and even throughout the HON Tour seasons. From my understanding, this is a newly formed team post Season 2 of HON Tour. They actually competed, of course, in the 5v5 Cup, which is why they're here today. So real quickly on that note, guys, so for the King of the Hill, we decided to change it up a little bit, kind of the format. First off, it is captain's pick, of course, so no surprise there. It's going to be a best out of 3 for both series, I believe. But on top of that, one team gets voted in by you, the community, for the Challenger fight, and that, of course, happened to be Sync Esports won it this time around. The other team, though, qualifies via the 5v5 Cup that takes place over the weekend through the HON Tour system. So we've decided to kind of mix it up a little bit in that sense to not only help encourage teams to sign up for the 5v5 Cup, but also, you know, make it more of just simply the fans voting for both the teams every single week. And as far as the teams, you know, the variances go, it was basically 4 teams throughout all the King of the Hills. We had Reason Gaming, we had, of course, Sync Esports, BMG, and then Stay Green. And I think Team NK was thrown in there maybe once or twice. But, you know, it got to a point where it's like, okay, maybe let's start to change things up. So decided to go with this format for now. We'll see how it works out. And honestly, we're still even looking to evolve it even further, perhaps. So King of the Hill definitely going to be fun moving forward. With that said, though, again, GX Gaming, they won the 5v5 Cup, so definitely worthy of being here. But no doubt they are the underdogs here against Sync Esports. So it's going to be fun to see. And then on top of all of this, ladies and gentlemen, of course, this is the first official cast post-patch. And holy crap, what a patch that was. Patch 3.4 coming at you here, the Rising Tide. Of course, the introduction of the new hero, Riptide, but more importantly, a lot of balance changes taking place. A lot of very impactful and quote-unquote meta-shifting balance changes, perhaps. Specifically with the jungle, of course, I'm talking about, on top of, well, just a lot of heroes, obviously, getting touched up in nerfs and buffs. So it really is going to be interesting as time moves on here over these next couple of weeks, especially next couple of months, as it usually is after a big patch. I mean, it honestly reminds me of basically post-patch 3.3, which, of course, was just before HON Tour Season 2 started. Things changed going on HON Tour Season 2. It's hard to kind of think back and realize, you know, where things were and then, you know, noticing how things developed over time. But we had a lot of that development over HON Tour Season 2 because of that 3.3 patch and a couple here and there in between. So here we are now in patch 3.4. Again, kind of the same scenario. It's going to be a lot of fun to see where things take us. Now, with all that said, I'm kind of rambling on here. We're moving along with the draft. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's actually take a closer look, see what the hell is going on here. The band's initially coming out. We got Rhapsody, Ophelia, Puppet Master, and Kronos coming out. So, you know, you look at those bands, nothing too radical there. Ophelia's kind of the interesting one, though. You know, let's be honest. Ophelia, always been a staple hero when it comes to competitive heroes in Newerth. I don't think there's ever really been a time where she's just not been considered a possible hero pickup. So, changes, though, man. Changes happened recently. There's several. Not only the jungle change altogether, it did, in a sense, nerf more minion focus, more of the current jungler heroes, and trying to bring up other jungler heroes. On top of that, though, There's the item Alchemist Bones now. It actually destroys Ophelia Creeps now. It is able to destroy Ophelia Creeps. Not saying that's an absolute hard counter that we're going to see at every game by any means if you happen to see Ophelia, but there is that to take into consideration now. So there's definitely all the changes to the hero specifically that happen. There's changes that definitely have affected the hero, and it's going to be obviously again fun moving forward to see how that ultimately plays out. But again, with that said, that is being banned. The initial picks, holy crap, we're almost finished here. So, Torturer, Bubbles, Drunken Master, Kraken, Wretched Parasite. You have the following bans: Nymphora, Warby, Circe, Engineer, Moon Queen, Empath. And then to finish things up, we got Devour into Glacius into Tempest. And now the final pick going to be coming out from GX Gaming over here on the Hellborn side. So you look at their lineup so far, they have their jungler taken care of with Parasite. You know, they got, okay, they are going to go Dr. Repulsor with perhaps a short lane carry here if the lanes kind of shape up that way, but we'll have to wait and see how that plays out. But again, there really is just so much to talk about when it comes to that, when it comes to this patch especially. As far as just all these changes. So I'm sure, as it usually happens again, over time, over the next couple of weeks here and whatnot, we are going to be seeing, talking more and more about it. We had the initial patch podcast. We got a lot of great discussion out of it. We had, of course, Waza and Panda Ruhu on, part of the design team, and takes care of balance and designing heroes and whatnot. They gave some great insight as far as why these changes happened, but now it's time to see these changes happening in real time when it comes to these matches. So obviously, again, really looking forward here to seeing how that plays out. One thing I got to do real quickly right here. Booyah. The power is strong, ladies and gentlemen. All right, let me make sure I D&D again so I don't get spammed here. Okay, so with that said, here we are in game number 1. Here again, it is a best out of 3 going to be coming at you. Change the interface real quickly. It looks good. Just making sure. Yeah, it does look good. Okay. It's been a while since I've casted here from the from the studio setup. So just making sure that everything's good to go. All right. So into the laning phase we go. Sync Esports. They of course are going to send 4 heroes to the bottom lane. You do see Drunken Master shaping up towards the top. But another thing to note though, especially with these lineups, the bans, the picks, going back to the whole idea of it is a new balance patch and everything. A lot of changes happen. Still, teams like to go to the comfort factor. When there is, in a sense, money on the line, when there is more of an important tournament match and everything, it's covered and everything, they're going to want to do what they know best, what they know is comfortable with. So it's no surprise to see the lineups as they are right here. I mean, nothing too radical when it comes to picks and everything. Dr. Pulse, not a hero we see all the time necessarily, but definitely not out of the question as an option. I love the skin, too, by the way. The freaking hands. You know what this reminds me of? The first thing I thought of when I saw this avatar, friggin' Mario 64. I don't even play the game. I watch Cyclemic all the time though, and it reminds me of that boss in Mario 64, the guy with just a big ass hands in that pyramid level. Anyways, I'm sure a lot of people know what I'm talking about, but at the same time, maybe not. Side note though, so yeah, he's gonna be at the short lane top. Drunken Master again gonna be up there. Kizu, excuse me, of course, gonna be playing the Drunken Master and doing his best against him. You see Doctor kind of taking advantage here of that range aspect, obviously, and gonna box him out as much as possible and force him out. You do see the ward of sights that were placed. Now, the initial ward of sight was placed by GX Gaming, actually, so they should be somewhat aware that that there is a ward of sight there. In fact, is there going to be a rev ward coming out? There is going to be a rev ward, and we'll see if Parasite takes care of that. None of his camps are blocked, so more than likely he'll realize that off the bat, of course, and then have to take care of it. Now, the other fun thing about the jungle changes I'm going through right now to see if we see any new ones. Yes, we do. The Antler Necromancer, one of, I want to say 3 or 4 new minions in the jungle. Here's a couple of new ones here, or the Postula. Different abilities, man. So you go back to Ophelia, things like Whispering Helm, and of course Parasite for that fact. There's some interesting new mechanics that were added on with these jungle creeps. From, I believe that the Necromancer, he actually raises skeletons up to fight for you. I'm not exactly sure how the cooldown works and everything. I honestly haven't practiced it myself, but read about that. There's one, the Alchemist Ogre, I think it might be called, or something like that, where basically it's an Alchemist Bones for you. He doesn't necessarily increase your gold you gain from using it, but he will instantly kill a creep on cue for you. And then there's another one that sounded, one that gives you vision, I believe, in a certain area for a certain amount of seconds. Kind of a cool like scouting tool. So there's kind of some interesting aspects there to keep in mind also with the jungle. Again, especially with heroes like Parasite and Ophelia. Parasite, of course, we happen to see here. So enough about that, though. The laning phase, how are things developing? Mickey on his classic Devourer here. I say classic, I guess, kind of lightly. I mean, First off, he hasn't been around the scene that long, but again, it's just such a fun player to watch. And hell, speaking of fun player to watch, the top 5 plays that were released by Scumbag Network concerning the World Finals, I think Mickey was a part of 3 of them at least. I mean, he's just a fan favorite player, no doubt, and for good reason. Just a fun one to watch. But anyways, he's going to be on his Devour. Again, going up against Maestro, playing the Bubbles here so far. 8-2 Devour, 9-3 Bubbles. So back and forth. I mean, seeing a true 1v1 mid also on top of everything. Kind of interesting. So actually noting that, it's kind of just hitting me up. But we got Kraken Glacius bottom here from GX Gaming. They're going up against a Hag Torturer. Double range Torture. You see right there, chain reaction, stun going to miss. And actually, Kraken and Glacius are going to be fine. In the end, falling back, but I didn't notice right off the bat how this. I would think that GX Gaming were the ones to send the aggressive dual lane and trying to take it to Sync Esports, but definitely a little bit of a risk here. You know, although it's kind of an odd lane set up where it's a Torture a Wretched Hag, it still can be pretty powerful in terms of extra harassment. And then of course Tempest, sure, you know, I'm not going to sit here and say how the jungling has completely changed for him. I would leave that to the pros to kind of give their criticism on it and for not only trying it out, but you know, give their theory crafting, but. It's, again, the idea of these changes, from my understanding, was that it's supposed to, in a sense, nerf the heroes that we see now in the jungle, such as a Tempest, and then, you know, help buff up, you know, say your Legionnaire, your Warbeast jungle, situations like that. So we'll see how Tempest does this time around, being played by Slapped, of course, and how he's, of course, kind of adjusted to the changes when it comes down to it. But speaking of the bottom lane, you have a Kraken here. He's, what is he farming? 11-2 compared to a 12-1 Hag. So this whole idea of the aggressive dual lane, I don't know if it's really paying off the best so far. Doesn't seem like it. We'll see how it continues to progress. But I think Bubbles, he's going to need to start moving here as soon as that level 6 mark hits especially. Trying to set things up. Mickey goes for the hook attempt right there. Unfortunately, those darn creeps in the way. Bloodlust kill going to happen at the top lane. Parasite coming in. Dr. Repulsor comboing for the kill. And technically I missed it, I guess. I mean, I did catch the very, very, very tail end of it, but I did miss the important parts to it, and I do apologize. Again, Rusty, man. Rusty. Anyway, so about 3.5 minutes in, KZ goes down at the top lane, so that's definitely an encouraging start there for GX Gaming. As far as they're concerned, 4-minute rune going to be spawning right here. Looks like it was a refreshment picked up by Devour, but at what cost right here? He's going to activate the rod. Remember, he cannot deny himself anymore within 1 second of taking damage, so he's in a lot of trouble right here. He's going to maybe try to go for it. No, yes, he will deny himself. He is able to do so. Remember, that change happened in the patch. You have to wait a full second before you can actually deny yourself with that decay of being attacked, and he was able to do so. So, you know, in that sense, good job by Mickey, but at the same time, still dead, of course, and I'm sure GX Gaming happy with that. If anything, that is going to free up some time now for Bubbles to have some extra farm here in the middle lane when it comes down to it. Got to keep hydrated, ladies and gentlemen. You guys should be too. No matter what you're doing, water's always good. Gonna play a little bit extra aggressive here at the bottom side. Continue to box out Kraken and Glacius a little bit, getting some good damage onto the tower. But again, Kraken, you know, more than fine in terms of surviving. Beaver Banger, the man's name right here, Beaver Banger. It's always fun, especially seeing new teams, you know, what their player names are. Bubble's going to be hooked back in. There's a Shell Surf, though. He will be fine, but Mickey just making sure to let him know what's up, putting a lot of pressure on. And going to force Maestro back to the well. Bottom lane in the meantime. Glacius goes down. Nice charge from Kraken, but it's not going to result in anything. In fact, yeah, he needs to get away because that Impale was doing too much damage. And Wretched Hag had a Sonar Scream ready to go, which is level 3. So that could have definitely been a turn kill if he wasn't careful. But in the end, Glacius does fall. So good take there for Sync Esports. And their first kill of the game, actually, coming out as a result. That Observatory Health Potion is going to be popped in the meantime by Kraken to kind of heal on up. But again, top lane, Dr. Repulsor, he is doing a pretty good job. 360 gold per minute up here. Obviously getting the kill. He got the Bloodlust kill? No, Parasite got the Bloodlust kill, but got the assist for it. And as far as creep farm goes, he is looking at 36-9 compared to 21-1 Drunken Master. So Drunken not doing too shabby. He is level 6 now as well, but in the end, Dr. Repulsor having that great time. Hook attempt going to be coming out right there. Parasite able to sidestep it. Torture now being slowed, and Torture's going to be completely turned on the Shell Surf nuke to finish him off. Bubbles does have a Kelfield here, but I don't think they're going to be able to chase down Devour yet. Not going to go for it. Parasite kind of nearby. Isn't level 6 yet, though, so no face hug or anything like that. Just going to let him go for now. That 6-minute rune, though, encouraging some action. Double damage rune picked up by Drunken Master. Speaking of that, so able to have a hold of that. Now Tempest ultimate going to be used right here. Parasite, can he infest in time? No, he cannot. Mickey gets there with the hook. got the angle he was looking for, able to get the kill. You saw Devour trying to do his ultimate right there onto Bubbles in the meantime. Kelfa coming out, locking down Drunken Master, and Bubbles will escape. Actually, pretty good escape right there from Icy Bro, because yeah, that was close getting jumped on. The cooldown did not go off for Devour. It's not a long cooldown, but that did not go off. But you could tell he was definitely going for the animation right there. But again, good escape from Icy Bro, able to survive. Meanwhile, the Bubbles not so lucky the second time around. He does get hooked in right there, and ends up falling as a result. So Mickey gets the kill that he was looking for. Doesn't have his cadaver armor, so not adding up charges, but he does have now 1,100 gold saved up. Probably going to upgrade those little booties of his and go from there. Dr. Repulsor, though, he's kind of the shining star here for GX Gaming. Going to need to see what kind of progress he's able to make here as far as the game goes. You know, farming's one thing, but especially on a hero like Dr. Repulsor, getting that snowball effect going, very, very important. So what kind of build will he go for? Icon of the Goddess. It did get nerfed in the last patch to an extent. I mean, it lasts longer as far as the duration on a kill cooldown, but the regen itself is less every single second tick. So, or every tick, I should say. What is that? Oh, that's the Glaciusaur. I was like, what is this atomic symbol below people? That's, I guess, the Glacius avatar. Interesting. Anyways. But yeah, we'll see how he progresses. He does finish his Grave Locket, so getting the nice build-up going. Wonder if you're going to see the Hellflower route, though, the Lightbrain and the Grimoire, or like I was saying, even that Icon of the Goddess idea could be very possible. He pours to the bottom lane, so this is actually a pretty big deal here for the Hellborn team. They're using quite a bit of resources, even Parasite, obviously, down in the area. Going to look for another Crave. Not going to really find much here. Okay, there's that Alchemist Ogre, by the way. Yeah, I haven't seen it yet. Badass. Like, oh, be distracted. In the meantime, off to the side, Mickey going to be picked off right here. Looks like, oh, he gets the one kill first, but down goes Torture, down goes Devour. So a 2-for-1 exchange in favor of the Hellborn team, but now Drunken Master wants more. Face-up going to be used. He got the kill on Glacius, though. Tempest charging in. There's the Glacial Blast. Dr. Repulsor in trouble. Can he ultimate away? Yes, he can for now. Ludicrous speed is good. Will it be good enough? Yes, it will. He does survive. Kraken comes in for the release of Kraken to finish off Tempest, but at what cost for him? He's going to be lunged around. Still alive, barely. Yes, will finally fall as Sync gets him killed. So a lot of action picking up there at that bottom rune area. Notice that these two teams very active at the runes. 8-minute rune right there, really. I guess maybe even shortly after, but going to it and ends up being slightly in favor of Sync Esports. Maybe, I mean, the overall hero kill lead now in their favor, but, you know, not the worst outcome either for GX Gaming. Dr. Repulsor did live, so that's obviously very, very important. Very, very important part of that. He is going to be porting to the middle lane. No, because in the middle lane, Maestro gets picked off. Doctor actually ported top. I thought it might have been going in to help his teammate, but not able to do so. Maybe just a split reaction. Wasn't aware of it, and in the end, Bubbles goes down yet again. So Maestro Pro, solid start, but it's kind of digressing, unfortunately. Only 230 gold per minute, 220 even. Level 7. 1, 3, and 2 hero kill stats. So Mickey really starting to pick things up with that said. And looking pretty good here for Sync Esports. As bottom lane, speaking of Wretched Hag, her farm's not the prettiest, but it's 300 gold per minute at the same time. So obviously not too shabby either. But again, a 400 gold per minute Dr. Repulsor. So when is that impact going to really start picking up? Because Sync Esports, he can farm all he wants. In the end, Sync will just start rolling as a team and cause issues. So GX Gaming really putting their eggs in the basket of Dr. Repulsor, having the good time here. So there's the Sackstone going to be finished. So again, really prioritizing the very early farm here. Sackstone, a good item pickup, especially against a hero like a Drunken Master. I would think Mystic Vestments would be important too, as it usually is for him. So we'll see if he eventually gets that as well. But middle lane again, Bubbles going to be gone. And there's the ultimate from the Devour, the Nom Nom Nom, and Bubbles, Kelfield stuck on the Seashell Surf. Ain't going to happen. Too much lockdown there. He tried all his efforts, but was unsuccessful in the end. Torturer, he's going to try to stop Glacius right here. Counter ward from Glacius ends up being the death of him, unfortunately. So all he wanted to do, Drent's right there, was just kind of where Kraken also going to make sure, okay, we'll finish it off at least. Takes care of business in the end, but obviously Sync Esports not too disappointed with that. Drunken Master trying to cut off Kraken, but could not get there in time. Tempa's going to be helping to push this bottom lane out now. Is there any tower kills yet? No. And neither team has a tower kill yet, about 11 minutes in, but don't speak too soon because looks like that could be happening here on either side, actually. You see GX Gaming pushing the top lane. And, yep, going to be a free tower kill. Bottom lane, same deal. Vulnerability goes out, delaying it a little bit, but it will be a tower kill as well. But Sync Esports, I assume they're going to keep going. Yeah, they're ready to go. They have 4 here. Yeah, only 4. Mickey's not here with them. But they got full force. Drunken Master double damager just wearing off right there, so not anymore. But Tempest still has an Elemental Void Factor. Numbers advantage, though, in favor of the Hellborn team, so we'll see how long they stay. There goes the Torrent on a Drunken Master. I think he staggered it away, though. Yeah, he was able to destroy it. And he is going to get away in the end, so everyone there for GX Gaming, but not able to do anything with it in the end. We'll scare them off, though. Sync Esports back to farming elsewhere, so kind of forcing GX Gaming to respond, but making sure they don't get anything out of it, and then kind of split up themselves. So yeah, good tactics there. Can safely say from our Legion team in Sync Esports. But again, Dr. Pulsar, farm is continuing to rise. Hasn't been the most active when it comes to hero kill. Well, I mean, 1-0-3 actually. So the hero kill stats actually suggesting that he's been okay at least. As he is trying to set up a counter right here. If Wretchedak blinks, she's going to be dead. That is for sure. But she's kind of sitting on the outskirts right here, kind of thinking about it. Dr. Pulsar goes in, though. They don't want to make the move first. Will this be enough for the go? Yes, it will. Flensmeister just disintegrates right there. You saw Tempest and Torch are kind of nearby, but not nearly close enough. Middle lane Bubbles able to sidestep the hook, it looked like. At that last second, caught that. So, but yeah, good coordination. I was going to say, if she blinked, probably guaranteed death. Didn't even need her to blink, though. The lockdown just a little too strong for Flensmeister to deal with. And now at the top lane, you see Doctor and Glacius. Glacius going to try to do a stack right here. Drunken Master coming in, though. Freeze comes out, however. Going to prevent Drunken from going in any further. 1,100 gold saved up on Dr. Pulsar. As, uh-oh. That's not good. Obviously, a timeout in general is never good, but especially when it's on your carry, it's kind of your shining star so far. And going to definitely be the one to help carry you to a victory here, if that is in the books here for GX Gaming. Again, I will say this, though, GX Gaming, not a team, you look at this matchup here, you're tuning in, you're like, oh, Sync Esports versus who are these guys? Understandably, not really know much about them. They're competing fairly well so far with Sync Esports. Sync does have a slight advantage, but GX Gaming looking pretty good, and this kind of goes back to that whole idea that yes, there are those top tier teams and everything, but even right below them, there's actually still a good amount of teams that are great themselves, and then it keeps going further and further with that. So, like I said, GX Gaming, they're here because they won the 5v5 Cup over the weekend, and although not the top tier teams were signed up for it, still they had to beat all the other teams in the event, of course, to make that happen. So. Again, deserving to be here. So once again, to kind of go over the new format for that, the winner of the 5v5 Cup over the weekend, they play the team that got voted in by the community, playing the Challenger fight. And then, of course, the winner of this best of the 3 here, they're going to move on to Thursday to eventually play Stay Green in the title fight that will be coming at you. So that's something to keep in mind here as far as that's concerned. Tempest, level 10 here. You see Ring of Sorcery and Steam Boots picked up. A couple of wards on him. Got Devoured. Does that Mystic Vestment? No, he still doesn't have a Mystic Vestment on Dr. Pulsar. We'll see if he eventually gets that or may just continue to go elsewhere here. But yeah, again, with that said, sign-ups for those events, by the way, once again, guys, are going on right now. Not only the 5v5 Cup for the weekend, but, of course, the NA Cup as well as the Variety Cup. And actually, the Thursday and Friday events, the NA Cup and the Variety Cup, those are actually, I believe, there are 3v3 Grimm's Crossing this week. What is it, Grimm's Crossing or another one? It would be Grimm's Crossing, right? Am I wrong on that? I'm actually going to check right now, just to make sure. I know it's a 3v3. I believe that's the map that it would be on. But anyways, again, the idea of those events are just to be for more of the fun, different play style to the game. Last week happened to be Mid Wars. This week it is going to be Grimm's Crossing 3v3. Grimm's Crossing, single elimination event. But again, it allows the community to have another opportunity to compete in Heroes of Newerth on a different scale even. So definitely sign up for that, guys. Get in that case only 2 friends. Don't even have to be friends really, just decent HoN players. And form a team and sign up for either one of those events, whichever one works for you. And then, of course, the 5v5 Cup, the Captain's Pick mode, happening over the weekend as usual. We got Mickey right here. He's looking for an angle. He's trying to find something, but as you can see, GX Gaming not giving that to them. So obviously, Dr. Pulsar back now. Good to see. He's going to join the rest of his team. Might walk into a trap, though, if he's not careful. We'll see what happens right here. The hook is actually going to hook back Drunken Master right there. That's probably for the better in the end, because Doctor was just about ready to jump him. But gets hooked back, going to be fine. Doctor does have his Steam Staff picked up, so it looks like he's going to be going for the Hellflower here in the end. And definitely a solid option, of course. Now, Untouchable on Drunken Master going to be something to deal with, despite having the Hellflower. So, you know, from that perspective, maybe not so much, but at the same time, great against a Wretched Hag. And, well, everyone else for that matter, so. Drunken Master, he's coming in. He's looking for another opportunity right here. Bubble's going to be that. Oh, it gets hooked in, though. Oh, the coordination was not at its finest right there. If anything, scare tactics coming out. They do get the easy tower kill in the end, so GX Gaming kind of figuring it's not going to be the best chance to fight right here, and understandably. The team fight presence a little bit stronger on the Legion side, especially with that Tempest and Wretched Hag combination coming out amongst everyone else. Devour, again, looking for an angle right here. See if he can land a hook. Nope. Might as well go for it, but not going to hit that one. That was a blind hook. I mean, we've seen him hit many blind hooks before, so you miss 100% of the hooks you don't take. A.k.a. Wayne Gretzky said that. Might have been shots, but still. Parasite coming in right here. Leech on a Torture. There's a face on the Tempest. They're trying to follow this up as much as possible. Kraken able to dodge. The Torture is done. The hook's going to miss as well. But now Kraken's in a horrible spot. He has to go down. Here goes Dr. Pulsar. Here comes Bulbasaur. They get the one kill on Tempest. They get two on a Torture. A third one on a Devour. But at what cost here? Drunken Master jumping in. And now Bubbles in trouble. He's going to end up falling. Wretched Hag coming in to clean up with a big Bat Blast on top of now blinking in. You see Parasite takes over the Vagabond. Does a little mana drain real quickly. On to Drunken Master. Will it be enough to get away? He has a tower nearby, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Yeah, he will go down when it's all said and done. Hat-trick coming out for KheZu. And the lead continues to rise. So it was kind of a funky start there for GX Gaming. They were really trying to follow up on the Tempest. Kraken did everything he could after, I think Parasite was the one that kind of went in there first. And then, I mean, Dr. Pulsar actually came in a good time with Bubbles. It looked like they might have been in a good spot, but I think Flensmeister did a good job right there, getting out of position to not get caught. He got a big Bat Blast. And then, of course, Drunken Master doing his thing with the Untouchable up. Makes him hard to deal with. Wretched Hag got the top lane. Was she going to survive? Yes, she will survive for now. There's the ultimate. Can he catch Wretched Hag? No, he cannot. Could not get the angle on her. And Wretched Hag is going to be fine. She blinks away, so Dr. Pulsar attempting to chase, but obviously not enough in the end. He can eventually wander back to his own jungle there, but you know, going for the kills, that's what matters, but definitely still wants to finish that Hellflower ASAP. You see the GPM charts now, though. Not so much in favor of Dr. Pulsar. Drunken Master, in fact, has jumped up there, and he's now neck and neck with Dr. Pulsar. And, you know, that's kind of interesting to see because obviously this is a suicide Drunken Master that was matched up against him, got bloodlusted earlier on, and you know, was having a slower start, but obviously KheZu, a very experienced player, does not let him phase that, does not let that phase him too much, of course. And is able to recover just fine. In fact, be a big threat in this game as a result. He has that Soul's Bulwark, another 1,400 gold saved up. His damage output pretty strong right now. Not Drunken, but Devour, actually. Here in the middle lane. Again, trying to find angles here. Speaking of that a lot this game. That's what happens when you got hook heroes coming at you. Drunken will just farm up the top end in the meantime. They're just going to give it to him, so he'll just continue to push it in. They've gotten the tower pushing kind of working here. 3 towers now dead in their favor. Only the one so far still for GX Gaming here currently. This Drunken Master going to make sure to get this top tower taken down as well. Will GX Gaming respond to this? For the time being, I'm looking at the TP situation. Only a couple of the heroes even have Homecoming Stones currently, so this should definitely be a free tower kill at the top side. They just triple stack the Ancients, but not doing that just yet either. They're going to push out the bottom lane maybe and do that, but GX Gaming, I'm kind of curious about that actually. I mean, they do have the triple stack Ancients here. Bottom lane, Parasite finds Wretched Hag, but without any support nearby, he's definitely not going to get that kill by himself, so he just quickly falls back as soon as Wretched Hag looked like she was maybe thinking about turning that. Right there. Dr. Pulsar, pretty good job right there of dodging the Devour hook. Make sure to kind of cancel his movement to avoid it. But the top lane still being pushed in by Sync. They are going to finally start falling back, realizing that there might be a response now coming out from GX Gaming, and they are correct. And Vulnerability comes out, and in time, they fall back with no sacrificing again. So Good movement there from Sync, but they might actually look to go back in, and right now numbers again in favor of the Hellborn team. In fact, they're going to catch Devour off to the side. Drunken Master's like, oh, buddy. Mickey gets caught out and completely damaged down to death right there, so not much of a chance to survive that situation. It's just really got caught out there, so in the end, a nice little kill happening for GX Gaming, kind of a boost for them. And morale, if anything, but the big picture, still in favor of Sync Esports as a team, looking much stronger here. Parasite kind of trying to bait something out of Drunken Master here, that Untouchable perhaps, but it's not going to happen. He kind of starts to stagger away, though. There goes the Untouchable. Will this be enough? Dr. Pulsar, not the most mana left. Can he somehow get in range to get a stun up? Doesn't look like. He's just too damn fast, man. And he has an Untouchable, the constant staggers, those drink charges. You just cannot chase him down. So he is going to be fine. And Doctor, you know, doing a good job of not wasting all that mana to chase what would have probably not been a kill in the end. So instead he goes back to the bottom lane to kind of pick up farm down there. Looking at item progression here across the board. Kraken 1,800 plus gold saved up. We'll see if he gets that PK here ASAP. Tablet of Command finished on Parasite, actually. Always a solid item choice against heroes like Tempest and Devour. It's good to see that for the Hellborn team. Bubbles has, the item progression has not been there. 1, 5, and 5, definitely, you know, not the most impressive hero stats either, so that hurts that situation. 1,100 gold saved up, but my guess is saving up for that 2150 mark, of course. I know, crazy guess, right? For the portal key, but a little bit of ways off. So keep an eye on that, though, when he has that, because that's going to prove to be very, very important, as it usually is. Shaman's Headdress on Mickey here playing Devour. Going for the eventual Barrier Idol. Astrolabe, of course, on Tempest with his Ring of Sorcery. There's the Grimoire Power. Finished on a Wretched Hag, so a lot more damage output going to be coming from her. She's only level 13 still, so doesn't have a level 3 Bat Blast just yet, but working her way towards that, of course. Middle lane, they want to jump this Devour. There isn't the most support nearby, so they have a good chance right here. Shaman's Headdress is going to make him really tanky, though, on top of a couple of Cadaver Armor charges and just having that in general. Here we go, though. They're going to try to make this happen. Kraken should be able to charge him back into the cliff. He will. Will it be enough for the kill? Not just yet. Heal comes out, but it will be a kill. And yeah, big Bat Blast return, though, for Wretched Hag. He survived long enough right there to get the turn kill. So yeah, they got the kill in the end, but it was not worth it. The support wasn't the closest. I mean, it took a good 5-6 seconds there for finally people to show up for Sync Esports, but that's Devour for you. Shaman's Headdress, Steam Boots, a couple of points in Cadaver Armor, 2 Magic Armor extra from that, so he was able to tank up quite a bit right there. And that's where, if you're the Hellborn team too, you should probably pick up on that. I mean, obviously a good attempt nonetheless, good to be active, but Devour's by, looks like at least he's by himself. He probably isn't. And again, even though Sync wasn't right there, they were able to get there in time and turn that around. So 3-for-1 exchange. Kraken will pick up his portal key as he resurrects. So you kind of feel like GX Gaming is going to be in that all-in point here in the very near future. Hellflower is still 1 Arcana away here for Dr. Pulsar before he's able to have the Hellflower finished. Bottom lane, speaking of Doctor, he's going to jet on out of there. Love that. Ludicrous speed, just like, see ya. I'm going out of here. Completely out of mana now, but at least he does survive. Going to go back to the well and regen that up. So I think that's going to kind of be the cue here for GX Gaming. Get the Hellflower finish on Dr. Pulsar. Make some plays, because the longer you wait, you are not going to outcarry this Legion team. Wretched Hag's doing very good. Drunken Master, extra, very good. Well, actually, I guess Wretched Hag technically better when it comes to GPM, but the Team 5 presence is going to be there all throughout this game, of course, for the Legion team. So Sync Esports, when it comes to the heroes developing throughout this game, it's just stronger. I mean, you can just tell that just from a quick glance here at the heroes and how they're farmed especially. So, again, goes back to if you're GX Gaming, give it one last effort here. Get the big item in the Hellflower. Maybe get the portal key on Bubbles. It looks like that's actually very possible to happen too, and then just go all out for it. Look for a pick chance, kind of progress from there, and maybe have that comeback start. But Sync Esports, the experienced, smart team, they are no doubt. You know, we'll see if they even give them that opportunity. They are kind of grouped up here in the middle as if they might want to start pushing in. And that would obviously be pretty good timing, as they're still just a little bit of ways from progressing towards the next items. But never mind, not going to be the case. They go into their Ancients. Kongor, now again, Kongor's kind of an interesting situation to talk about too, speaking of the patch. Obviously, Kongor himself not touched, but what he drops was the Token of Life now only lasts 5 minutes. in case you didn't hear about that. And that only lasts 5 minutes instead of the 7 minutes. So the idea with that is, you know, rather than getting a Conquer Kill, a Token of Life, and then going back to just farm up and eventually push in, you got to push in even sooner with that Token of Life if you want to use it effectively. So I'm personally a huge fan of that change. I think that's going to just promote even more action when it comes down. I'm curious, though, at the same time. I mean, I still think Conquer is obviously very worth it, and you have the opportunity to definitely take it. But it does nerf Conquer a little bit in that sense at the same time. So, but still, very, very worth it. Still a very iconic thing to do in the game. And by all means, I'm sure we'll still see plenty of important Conquer kills and Conquer action coming out. Dr. Repulsor. He just about has enough for it. Going to clean up this last creep whip here. Should have it. There you go. Portal Key picked up on Bubble. So again, this is that timing here. Will we see GX Gaming kind of turn it on, or will they just continue to play passive? If they continue to play passive with this, I don't think there's going to be much hope for them, unfortunately. So what will they decide to do? You see Dr. Repulsor. They're going to the bottom lane. Will they catch Wretched Agony? They will initially. The follow-up's not going to be enough. The Bubbles just got there a split second too late even. If that Song of the Sea hit, very likely could have been a kill, but no, Wretched Agony blinks away just in time and able to survive. Also, Dr. Repulsor did not have the Hellflower just yet. Obviously, that was a very important part. So you kind of look at that whole initiation process, and they got a little greedy right there. If he waited just maybe a second longer, Wretched Agony could have very likely still been there, and that could have been the big difference maker. So got a little greedy, found the opportunity that he was looking for, at least in his mind. Went for it, did not pay off. So now, top lane, they're going to push it in. Not really any cooldowns were used, though, so that's kind of the saving grace there for the Hellpoint team. They still have a good chance to make something happen. Devour, sending the illusions in the front lines. Even those are damn tanky. You see Bubbles jumps in. Here we go. Dr. Repulsor flies in, trying to lock down Wretched Agony. Will it be nearly enough? No, it will not for now. Release Kraken comes out hitting Torture, but Wretched Agony gets more than fine. Kraken charges him in. It ain't going to happen, though. Drunken Master Devour in the background is wrecking things left and right. You see Bubbles finally going to get caught as well as Tempest comes in to block him. And actually, oh, Bubbles able to Portal Key out with the take cover and everything else, so he might be fine in the end, or maybe not. He's going to be cut off by the other Sync Esports members who are busy diving into the base, trying to finish him off. He is hidden right here, apparently. They're having trouble finding him, and actually he's going to Portal Key away. Wretched Agony blinks in. There's a nice Shell Surf just joint, and he will survive. So Bubbles somehow lives, but the base may not. The tower is definitely going to fall down right here. And here goes the Rex on top of that. GG, well played, is being caught. It looks like that is going to do it officially. Sync Esports will take game number 1 over GX Gaming. So obviously a good fight put up by GX Gaming, but in the end, too strong for Sync Esports. Drunken Master Keizu did a hell of a job of recovering that game. The start, it wasn't a horrible start by any means, but he did get bloodlusted. Was having the best time. Wasn't having the best time at the top lane, but ended up finishing 8-1-5, 500 and that's experience, but still 474 gold per minute. He was progressing, a big deal for the victory, sure. But again, the team fight presence, everything else really just came together for Sync. GX Gaming, Dr. Repulsor had a strong start, really progressed throughout the whole game, solid. I don't think Hellfire was a bad choice by any means. I don't think if you win another item progression, it would have been a different outcome. But in the end, obviously wasn't able to make enough happen with it. So movement was just not there. The ganks weren't happening. And Sync Esports takes care of business. So best out of 3, though, ladies and gentlemen. With that said, obviously a short little break right here, but we're going to be coming right back at you. Game number 2, GX Gaming versus Sync Esports. Will GX Gaming surprise us and force a game 3, or will Sync Esports just take care of business and move on to Thursday to play, of course, Stay Green, and look forward to a rematch there yet again against Stay Green and whatnot. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned. We'll be right back. More action coming at you.